here's a few extra things that I like to mention about Belize. In the regular episode, I mentioned the swing bridge. Most people online don't rate it very high because they see it being rusted and they don't know really what's special about it. The fact is, the bridge was highly important to Belize City along the way. It was originally funded by King George III in 1818. It was rebuilt in 1859 and again in 1897. Then there were a bunch of hurricanes that were busting it up and it needed to be repaired all along the way. And the last of those repairs happened in the early 2000s. I recommend trying to find out if you're around when they open it upon special request. I thought it was once a month. I was wrong. It takes about 4 people using a hand crank to open, and I found this picture in the hallway of the Radisson, which I assume accurately depicts the bridge being opened. I would have loved to have seen it, but I don't think they would have taken a special request from me. I didn't mention too much about my hotel, but I did have 2 noteworthy things happen during my stay. The first of which will stir the imagination, or at least make you think I have a wild imagination. My room appeared to be haunted. Ooh. First thing I noticed was there was this occasional knock I would hear, but I chalked it up to that it was the wood in the room adapting between the AC and the high humidity when I would leave my patio door open for a bit or something. It wasn't until my first night where I was woken up by the knocking, and I fluffed it off. And then, as clear as day, I remember hearing the door to my room being opened and then slamming against the chain that I had locking the door before shutting again. Now, this didn't just wake me up, it got me out of bed to check the door and the hallway. That was all fine. My door was shut, it was locked, and no one was in the hallway. So my suspicion deepened. Now the knocking continued on the evening of my second night, so my eyes grew more squinty. Then, when it was time for bed, came the next step. I woke up to the sounds of the toilet lid falling shut, and I always leave the lid down. Ladies. This was still not enough to really push me to do anything. But then came the bathroom faucets being turned on full blast and then shutting off. At least the sound of it. I didn't see it. I was in bed. But that was when I said I've had it. Call me crazy. But I told whatever it was that this wasn't working out. I needed to sleep. I had work in the morning, for God's sake. When I'm sleeping, you are quiet. And then I put up some mental barriers, and I slept perfectly fine for the rest of my trip. There were still knocks in the evening, and then in the morning when I woke up, but not overnight. And the second story, which is far more easy to believe and documented, I played a part in helping a bird learn to fly. So I was sitting on the deck area of the hotel, soaking in the afternoon, and I was hit by something that fell underneath my chair. So I took a look at what it was, and there was a little fluffy black bird under there, which I was like, oh, it's cute, a little fluffy bird. And then mama bird comes flying in, squawking at me and putting me in my place. So I was like, all right, I'm backing off. So I tried to give them their space, but they kept hopping and fluttering around by me, and no matter where I would move on the deck. So I took part in this young bird learning to fly. Eventually, it sort of flew away, and that was the end of my cute wild bird interaction. And finally, there was Professor Prince Charles Perez, whom I briefly featured in the main video. This guy is charming as hell with his shtick and is worth all the big tips. And he actually suggested I take the video of our interaction to share online, so I'm fulfilling my responsibility as an honorary A1 Junior Ambassador for Belize by passing it on to you.
Welcome to beautiful country. Prince Charles Perez is my name, local historical guide. I'm here with Ambassador Joseph to be, sharing with him the origin and meaning of the name Belize. Now, this message for Americans. If therefore there is one country in this world where you Americans can and should bloody well go, buy a house, rent a house, get a hotel, stay friends, go to church, go boogie down, party time, talk to a local in the streets without having to keep wandering, looking back over your shoulder. Where is that country? Tell me, please.
Belize.
You better believe it. Now you got your assignment. Here comes your session. 1615, the British obtained a permission from Spain to extract logwood and rosewood out of this country for the purple. California, abundantly. Redwood, same thing, purple. The royal color, rare and very expensive. Back in 1615, there was none of the 5 major ethnic groups here that you now see here. Belize is multi-ethnic, multicultural, multi-religious. Many cultures, one people, united under the Belizean flag. Aside from Massachusetts, Vermont, Wisconsin, New Jersey, New York, in the United States, which are 5 state flags. The Island of Man, which is an island flag. The Belizean national country flag is the only flag in this world with people depicted on it. Have you seen it? It's red-lined, blue. There's a white circle in the middle. In that white circle, there's 2 men, a white man and a black man, representing slavery. There's a ship depicted on the ocean between their feet, representing the extraction and the exportation of the timber. Remember 1615, logwood and rosewood, and the movement of the slaves as they were commercialized from port to port. There's a mahogany tree between them, representing the logging trade. The mahogany, the national tree of Belize. Tapir or tapir, the national animal. The black orchid, the national flower. And do you know the name of the national bird?
I do not.
Then I'm going to tell you. I'm going to show you. You will be able to tell others you're not only seen, you also heard. Watch this. Pretend this has no gas, but it has a flick. This one has a flick, but it has no gas. I say to the tourists, 1 can, 2 can, we light up the world. What's the name of the national bird?
Toucan.
The fruit loop bird. Under their feet it says sub umbra florio, so Latin phrase meaning under the tree or under the shade we flourish. The many colors on the flag, red, white, yellow, green, blue, brown, etc., all stands to represent the multi-ethnicity of Belize. Among this multi-ethnicity, there's 5 major ethnic groups of which, thank God, I am part of one. I'm a Creole man, European and African descent. There's mestizos, Mayan and Spanish descent. There's Kulik, East Indian and African descent. A derogatory term meaning an ass, a mule, a burden bearer, or a slave. However, that's the way the culture is identified as an ethnic group, Cooley, East Indian and African descent.
Okay.
There's the 4th, Garinago, Island, Carib, and Arawak Indian descent. Progenitors of the Punta Rock music. And the most productive ethnic group in Belize today are the Mennonites, Jewish and German descent. When you say Mennonites in the States, you refer to their religiosity, like Amish, etc., as a religious group. When in Belize we say Mennonites, we refer to their ethnicity as a cultural group. Mennonites, Jewish and German descent. 80% of our food sources comes from the Mennonites.
The Mennonites, yes.
Watermelons, rice, beans, corn, tomatoes, potatoes, eggs, cheese, sausages, beef, pork, milk, pineapples, okra, sweet peppers, radishes, ice cream, but don't you scream, and the list goes on. Why have I mentioned and classified these 5 major ethnic groups as I'm laying for you this historical foundation to support the answer to my question, to introduce you to the cultures of Belize? I did say history, culture, and statistics. We, referring to the 5 major ethnic groups, we are the true cultures that makes up the Belizean identity. We are the true Belizean. Notwithstanding, there's all kinds of people in this wonderful jubel of ours. There's not one country in this world that I know of where somebody from that country have not visited our country. Everybody wants a piece of Belize because there's peace in Belize. When the British first settled here in 1615, these 5 major ethnic groups I mentioned and classified, we never existed. We weren't in the world as yet. Most of us came about through intermarrying between masters and slaves. However, we can understand, and most of us can bloody well blab English. Sorry. English, on the other hand, was not introduced to the Central American mainland until 1615 when the British first settled here. If there were no English-speaking people on the Central American mainland, English wasn't the language spoken, then tell me, Mr. Ambassador to be, who were here? What languages were spoken when the British settled here in 1615?
Then it would be the Mayans that
You
were here?
better believe it now. Explode with me, please, and get others to see this. Back in the jungles. In what is therefore classified as Mesoamerica, the Mundo Maya, the world of the Mayans, Mexico, Belize, Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador, etc. There were Mayans roaming the Central American mainland. Belize is believed to have been the very capital, the heart of the Mayan civilization, dominating Central America between 250 and 900 AD, the peak of Mayan civilization, the classic period. Supporting this theory is the fact that Belize possesses the largest concentration of Mayan sites, not temples, sites, in the entire Mundo Maya region, with over 1,400 sites documented. In this small country of 8,867 square miles, 69 miles wide, 174 miles long, running parallel with the largest barrier reef in the Western Hemisphere, second largest in the world, there's actually over 1,400 Mayan cities, buried cities, hidden by time and buried by sediment. Now you've been introduced to Belize. You've literally had history, culture, and statistics stoned at you, but you're not yet properly introduced because you're still in limbo as to the origin and meaning of the name, Belize. But by now you should know it had something to do with the Mayan people. Back in 1615 in Maya, what was this country called?
Belkini?
Yeah, baby, yeah. Come on, give some explosion to me. Back in the jungle. Belize it or not, any question of Belize anybody asks, I can answer. You think I'm trying to be cute, stranger, funny? You try me tonight, some other day or night, your knowledge will be, Belize will swell, explode, and even grow faster. Now, they used to call me the walking dictionary. The walking encyclopedia. I'm sure you heard of Wikipedia.
Yes.
Guess who bumped into you a while ago? Or whom you bumped into a while ago? Say hi to Belizepedia. I'm trying to enlighten, educate, and entertain you with Belize and historical royal degree. Here comes the wrap-up. Now miss nothing in this university's class. I've saved the best for last. Belkini, 1615. Also notice the transition as we left from Balitsa in the pre-classic to Belkini, etc. Belkini, 1615. With the passing of time, with merging, interaction among peoples, intermarrying among races, words and languages evolve. Languages, see, what we speak, it's alive. Being a living, welcome to beautiful country. Being a living organism, it's always adapting or taking on various slants, accents, or dialects. Among the Mayans, they no longer say Belkini for the name of this country. They started to say Belakin, Belakin, including the name of the local beer, Belikin. Did you get that? Belkini, Belakin, Belikin. Now, if you haven't heard anything I said, you won't remember nothing till the day or night you're bloody dead. Grab this, I want to say, remember it as of this beautiful Belizean night, not day. Belikin means a pathway to the east. This is east. Or a lovely land facing the east, the sun rising east. But it should be translated, a beautiful land facing the east, the sun. Bel in Belikin, coming from the Portuguese word bella, Italian, belladonna, French, belle, Spanish, beja, suck it to me in English.
Beautiful.
Exceptional. I'm going to stick this pin on the word beautiful. I'm coming back to it quickly. You're going to have the complete honor to have me remove this pin using that same beautiful word in less than a minute. When I come back home, however, please don't use a different word. So you hear me moan and groan. No, Mr. Maddox. Belikin is derived from Belkini or Belakin. Belize is obviously derived from Belikin. Watch this. Belikin. Take off Kin and put CE. What do we have?
Belize.
Belize, you see. It's a root word of Belkini, like a great granddaughter. Connected, nothing to do with the British, not an English-based word. Its roots is in the Mayan language. Finalmente, finally, Belkini, Belakin, Belikin is a Mayan derivatives, plurally, like a family of words. Belize, on the other hand, is a Mayan derivative, singularly, from the family of derivatives. Not even an English word in name Belize. Like Belkin, ambassador know to be, the name Belize, it's also a very Mayan word, if you please. Now that's historical entomology with royal degrees. What the hell does the name Belize truly mean? Can, but it won't. It don't need to be explained. I'm taking the spin off the words Bella Belladonna, Bella Leveja. You told me what it means in English. Use it now with honor. Because when I first saw you the first time, I did say to you, welcome to
A beautiful country.
now, Mister, you want to be my teacher? A special explosive that can take a round back in the jungles. Royal welcome to beautiful country. That's what I said. That's what I meant. That's what the name Belize truly means and could be explained. This session, future encounters, everything was being suggested, promoted, and stoned at you from the depths of my old rugged car washing, smelling historical heart. Now a super special, royal, explosive, row, no jungles, this one for the ladies, backward squid, welcome to beautiful country. What was that session like? Whatever you could say about it to me and or others, use my favorite phrase or word I'm not sure, or practice it. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
You better believe it. Professor Prince Charles Perez.
And that was a paring down of our encounter. I really enjoyed my time with Prince Charles Perez. I think you would too. So if you go to Belize City and you see him out there on the street doing his thing, go check him out, throw him a few bones for his work, and enjoy it. And tell him an A1 Junior Ambassador that he sent out into the world has sent you back to him. Hey everybody, I hope you enjoyed this extras video on Belize. It didn't have a whole lot to it, but it had a whole lot of Prince Charles Perez, and I like that. There's more coming on the channel down the line, so keep checking out your feed to see if we pop up. I'm brewing up some fun stuff.